Welcome. 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 Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your first style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick a class. Mercenary. Deadeye. Mercenary. Deadeye. Commando. Psyfreak. Saboteur. Sentinel. Saboteur. Psyfreak. Mercenary. Deadeye. Command. Saboteur. Saboteur chosen. Sounds good. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living. But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice, a reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows through everything.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you, your inner voice to be precise, an echo of the balance and consequence of your actions as you move forward.
So glad you realize who you really are. Let's keep to the bright and better path moving on.
You can't contradict yourself like that. You made the right choice to begin with. Why would you change your mind?
Because you can't deny what's deep within your heart. Sometimes a thought is just a thought. In the end, it's the way you act that counts.
Remember, this is just the beginning of the end. Eventually, it'll be my way or the highway.
Guess left can be right sometimes. Stories of death and the bodies left behind, a reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family, or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger. run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die. That's going to leave a mark. The oil sludge is everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. trigger finger. Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The Morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress, blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Grab on tight and go. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There you go. The Wheeled One is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Personal. Swoon. Sharp steel. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the Wheeled One before backup arrives. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. It's a scar you're covering under that eye patch, isn't it? But he would have recognized you anyways. You look exactly like your Muma. There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end. He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land. After the old village was destroyed and you disappeared, a struggle between the families erupted, and over time, the disciples turned against each other. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree. Asks if you are tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Mooma knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here fueling its source of life. Magic? He claims it's just the force of life, the existence of energy, powering and connecting all things living, like the Nono. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it, see if you can make one come out of hiding. You found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. The small tree you saw up there where you met will eventually grow into a tree of life and start giving back to nature. It'll be the heart of the land. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the Nono as they become one with the tree. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of ki, the primal energy. You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's impressed. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of Nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the Pensai tree. They're hiding in the glitter grass that mostly grows deep inside damp caves, where they draw mineral from the natural rock. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain the world. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree. Now that you've seen the Nonno's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no reason to doubt. From this day on, he'll make nurturing the Pensai into a tree of life, a life goal, not only for our village's sake, but for all of us, everyone. One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Muma will be able to protect us. You can already see the effects from how reckless those before us acted, and unless something changes, we're doomed. The land won't survive the side effects of the old world's industrial advances. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did good here today. No, she's got lots on her mind and needs rest after the raid last night on the Lupin camp with her disciples. Wonders if they let the Predator family live or not. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the Tree of Life, but now he's afraid it might be in vain. The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived. The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse that Toxinol Corporation inflicted on the land set the World Eaters' DNA into overdrive. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Majut and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. His friends have prepared something specific for each World Eater. The Mekton, the Octopod, the Majut, and the Goo Glide are almost ready to ride. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
That's a spark of light in you!
What's there to like about light? It hurts to look at.
Not as much as it hurts to look at you.
Always making this personal.
And you're always trying to pretend it's not.
There's Out-of-Date again. He must have missed something important. Out-of-Date knows you'll make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there's two nearby. The Jagni tribe is likely to be your primary choice as they seek to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy. as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side. He believes the tribe Sifus, Jagni especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part. He believes you share Jagni's view on the world. Regardless, Jagni would welcome someone that had helped them against the Myriad tribe. He'll be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's a bridge. Just get over it. They've re-strewed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war or part of the problem. Let's see. Wishes you were the kind to blend your colors with the myriad for the greater good. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Wonders why the Sifu would want to see you, but he'll let you in and give it a try.
Zata is the moi totloho. Kariesne stace. Paro, yaput.
The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew. He welcomes you to the Jagni fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. The news of a cold-blooded Ronin crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 preceded you. The wall that separates them from the other side, the wasteland you came from. He guesses the time spent there just left a blank space in your memory, as empty and barren as the wasteland itself. He understands that sometimes we need to lose ourselves to find ourselves, but he's glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. Sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. Your Muma invented Wung Fu. Originally, it was based on unarmed combat and the 6 weapons: the boomerang, the shuriken, the bow, the staff, the nunchuk, and the hook and chain. The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside, at least for now. Unrest is sweeping the land and there are rivals in all directions. Jagni doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Their goal is to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. Says fear and hatred is the only path to domination, but you already know that. So embracing that side of you and helping them vanquish the tribes and letting the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life should be an easy decision. He didn't expect that of you. You were born bad so you could do good in this world. That weak mind of yours has made you soft. He'll give you a chance to change your mind before you leave and asks you to reconsider. Otherwise, you'll be seen as a rival. Then so be it. He wants you to know that they'll show no mercy at the end of this war and offers you a last chance to come back and join when you realize you've picked the wrong side.
Na zenakas pipatne is de moi.
And with that, he urges you to seek protection at Myriad Stone Fort before word gets out that you've chosen not to side with them.
Yeti rikli.
He disagrees, and the day you meet again, you'll understand why.
Na zenakas pipatne vlada.
It's time to say goodbye for now, and if it's not the kind of goodbye that lasts forever, then the next will mean the end for you. Says they're cautious of non-allies. Understands completely. That's the Myriad Tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. Let's see. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Says the Sifu is popular these days as the tribe grows stronger by the day. He suggests you let the Sifu do the talking when you meet. He prefers it that way.
Sibi? Lapanen agin kanman. Gerad na fal hutut mustugai la wute.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 has preceded you. He heard you took out-of-date side against the scavengers in Bunker 101. It seems you believe in helping your next, and that's something you have in common. He's convinced you've returned for a reason, and is glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples. Your Muma invented Wang Fu. Originally it consisted of... The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can unite the other tribes. The one you should coerce first is the Jagni tribe. The myriad were placed here to fulfill a certain purpose, chosen to unite the tribes and take control of their destiny. The tribes need a firm hand guiding them into the future. Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire peace have been forced to prepare for war. You need to take the struggle to the enemy, or the enemy will bring it to you. When survival is threatened, there's no other option left but war. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. Even though you don't share their values, they hope you'll lead with mercy. The outcome of this war is up to you. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts and earn the right to wield the tribe weapon. Once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to unite their tribe with yours and let your kin share land again. They passed the point of no return as their words lost power and see no other way forward than using violence to combat violence. Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing a code of honor. He remembers your kind and unselfish soul and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good. Anyway, the memories you make with your family are strong and can sometimes come to life. Passing the old village on your way to the first rival outpost might help. Even though it's now a different place from a different time, it is a place that'll make you remember. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially. Deformed and unfurled. Ready to take on the world. Bang, bang. Flash the slash. Watch out for you. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. Let's see. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He asks how you are today. Then he wants you to know that if you find yourself going through bad times, you should just keep going. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. Learning to swim can be scary when you don't know what you're doing. But fortunately, he's here to give you a helping hand. He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. And he'll be honored. He says, that wasn't too bad, was it? Way to go. Don't let the sound of the waves drown out your spirit. But you need practice. Lots of practice. Great things usually happen to those who never stop trying. He hopes you'll be one of them. You just need more time in the surf. That's the only way you'll ever learn how to swim. You can never try too hard. Judging by your Muma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. You know you can't make up for lost time. You should know, practice makes perfect. As long as it doesn't kill you, it'll only make you stronger. She'll see you at the village square. She says that's good. With a passion for learning, you'll never cease to grow. Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. He's learned that things are never as bad as they seem. You'll feel better in the morning. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. He's happy to hear that from someone that's a part of the coming generation. You owe it to yourself to protect the environment. You should look for things that are recyclable. It shouldn't take you too long to find some. He wonders what usefulness you found. Sometimes he's an expert, but sometimes he just does what's right. He can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. He says only a few are willing to do the little things, but if you make enough of them, they can have a big impact too. He'd love to teach you to upcycle, and the scrap you found would be a good start. You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. He believes being considerate will help you feel at peace with yourself. He understands, but hopes you won't be needing it anytime soon. He thinks mastering the 6 weapon styles of Wang Fu is more than enough for anyone. He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It seems you have a talent for this. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience. You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village square right away.
Andro?
Then you've got a good excuse. You share a responsibility to prevent hardship on nature and the environment. It's your future.
Tukonda.
She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself before she's gone.
Kanamunt. Ritsentene.
She won't live forever, you know that. But she intends to make the most of every day she gets, especially the ones you share together.
Andro? Tropalo.
You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow her.
Kanamunta. Antoro. Monibasa.
Then start by meeting her on the village square and take it from there. She knows you're a free spirit, always on the move, like the wind. They look determined. Better watch out. He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think you're going. He says that it's not too late for you to turn back, though. There's no way they'll let you pass. He wants to know who you think you are. They push each other to become better, and sometimes someone gets pushed down along the way. She asks if you're hurt. What happened?
Narolute.
She says it's nice of you to consider them, but they have weapon training at sunrise tomorrow, so they'll need all the rest they can get.
Anora kapapon.
The most important thing is that you're okay.
Kanoruta.
It's time to focus on your training now.
Inyavaldo, minalagimamuru.
You won't need excuses if you are strong in your conviction. Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best.
Papa Zulu yada.
Seeing you always puts a smile on your Popsy's face. He wants to know how you're feeling.
Dakatnio umwaka.
He heard you helped Gizmo clean up. He's proud of you.
Kidlo. Sam.
He asks if you could help him too before you leave for training.
Oven.
He'll talk to her, sure, but you know she wants you to accept responsibility for your own actions and future.
Cherry la fia.
He suggests you get going and find him gadgets and ideas for how you can upcycle some old fabrics.
Baran udina mama.
He's curious to see what you found.
Jacques intankakuru. Eskayamako. Ya.
He's gathered so much over the years and it's hard to remember everything. Nothing's wrong with his memory. It's just short.
Waksandona ne yapon.
He can work wonders with pretty much anything and asks if you know how to upcycle.
Shaku hare zavania.
Thinks some are and some aren't. One thing's for sure though, your Mooma thinks it all takes up too much space in the house.
Sekaya lama yama.
He says it's about time you learned how and offers to teach you, starting with the scrap you found.
Why ad foodlea haya. Sekaya lama yama.
The style might be too edgy for his taste, but it looks sharp on you.
Silogo bartinea falish.
He knows she's already proud of you and everything you've achieved so far.
Over bug ad.
You should take it with you, wear it to practice.
Les.
He thinks you should. She'll be proud of you.
Vaksan u intamaran kamaglai.
He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It seems you have a talent for this.
Veri?
Your Muma says it's about time you got here.
Asil natu.
Hopes you're as ready as you claim to be.
Asil natu. Kalino?
She says she is eager to get started. You don't have much time left before the sun goes down.
Sanna jode. Ariaroche nui mumera.
But there's enough time left for repetition, and you need it. Training dummies don't hit back.
Narolote.
Wants you to prove that with some practice first.
Kanamunt.
Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you.
Kala.
Thanks you for being such a good student.
Kanyala notoro. Masammal.
Been working on a present for you, with the help of Gizmo and Wiz.
Volakamun rukna. Dere?
You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved it.
Tropalo.
Says he's always thought so well of you, just like her. Catchy.
Ruhemukton.
Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus as green as this little thing. It's wonderful.
Tropalo.
She's happy you appreciate what others do for you.
Pialtu ma aplitonomuta.
A piece of Scraptronics like this has built-in old world tech that makes it a potent communication device.
Orasa durut.
It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your DNA. It'll follow wherever you go and see whatever you see.
Recentede.
You're lucky to have such a fine helper with you.
Ala.
Your Muma says you look tired. No wonder. It's been a long day.
Kanyala notoro.
She's so happy you made the most of it. Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Lupa Lupin from setting the world on fire. Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. That's just adding fuel to the flames. Give it a last burst and you'll make it. Your Muma says this is it. The time has come. She must fight Lupa Lupin. This time there's no escape. She can hear him coming. He wants to destroy her. The time to fight is coming, whether she's ready for it or not.
Kalino? Ariaroche nui mumera.
Whatever happens, you need to know she loves you, and everything she's done has been to protect you, your Popsy, and those she was chosen to lead. She tells you to stay back. This is her fight. It has nothing to do with you. She loves how brave you are, but she can't be worrying about you while she fights. This is her fight. Here it comes, the past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on. tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulks on the loose. The deep cut. You're half dead. You gave them no choice but to take it down, even though they planned to take the Fluff Hulk out to the Farfnaki leaves and let it go.
Ano po paano Jackie ki nukipa? Pauyo jo nukitemo ja hupikodo.
They've received news a Ronin had strengthened their ranks and were looking forward to meeting you.
Na jenlem yat manrunab.
A group of myriad crusaders already headed out to Jagni's Mercadorpus outpost and are waiting for you there.
Chukamedro de oucha.
You should hurry there and help them best the outpost.
Nama pölkykkäni nyoja tulo mudre mayo.
The Myriad tribe is prepared to fight to the death for souls that will be forever lost if not saved. Look, an emergency box from the old days. Wow, bet that nut makes a tight fist. Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it? Punch the ticket. That notice board, filled with the leftovers of used-to-be wants. You're getting close to one of those old Toxanol brick towns. Pay it. The Toxanol Corporation made this place, and then just threw it away when they were done with it. Well, small ones. Places like this were cheap back in those days, and there was plenty of space. Get done with one place, you just build another. There must be a track somewhere in this brick town. Just hope it's not buried. Treasure the coming day. The world doesn't have so many anymore. You found the whereabouts, the deepest, darkest forest in the land, sometimes hard to see for all the trees. That's a Jagni tribe outpost. Nothing like a walk in the woods. Let's see. Says it's time to set the outpost free. Inflict as little damage as possible as you make your way through to the rival captain. Freedom is not worth having in a world that's doomed. Here's the first line of defense. That's a bomb locker. That hit was spot. Wrecked it. That twirly wheel works that drain pipe. Spin the twirly wheel and open that drain. Everything's clocking together. Put a key to use. Keep going. That cage is holding a helper. They never lost hope you'd come, but weren't sure if they'd last long enough to see it. Says the tribe's been hard on them. Wants revenge on those who caged them, but trust you'll take care of it. A sharpshooter. The scaffolding looks unstable. Better stay clear of the red. Here's the second line of defense. Red means danger. big bump will bring it down. Switched off the light. A barrel shoot. Smack it to get a barrel out of it, then hit it toward the gate and blast it. That looks splody. Shoot it and watch it blow. Not too close, though. Kaboom! You're in. Almost there. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. Says you did a great job capturing the outpost. You've earned the privilege of carrying the tribe's weapon. Figures the honor belongs to the tribe, too. Out of Date says he's doing his best to keep up, but from what he can tell, it seems you're making progress with the tribe conflict. He had a feeling you'd get along with the Myriad tribe, but it remains to be seen what the future holds for your alliance. Your negative outlook on life might just be what the Myriad tribe needs to complement theirs, which is much more positive. But Out of Date emphasizes that solving the tribe conflict won't matter unless you help make a stand against the World Eaters. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date's forebodings are justified. The jumbo puff needs to be taken care of. He says the time has come to confront the jumbo puff at the end of the west route. Gizmo is working on making his Mekton strong enough to endure the oxygen-deprived dead zone all the way out to the World Eater. You should get over there and see what you can do to help. Every day, Everything seems like it happens at once. Let's see. Mercadorpa's outpost, a Jagni tribe stronghold. That's a gnote, easy prey for Lupin. For everyone else, they're a perfect mount and easily tamed if they are kept fed. Don't distract this beastie, it's working. That's a resource totem, a monument left behind by those that picked scrap, trying to keep the area clean. It's the chug yard. The board mainly has posts from those that used to work at the chug yard back in the days gone. They don't make much sense these days. Not much more to say about the board, but Gizmo is holed up in the underyard here working on that Mekton of his. The Toxanol Corporation used to run chugger-chuggers out of here. They can carry you anywhere you like. Well, you're on the right track. You get used to the beastly smell, I hear. Tribes always scavenging for scrap, and the yard has plenty to go around. But they should have stuck to looting instead of playing around with sprockets. Bomber bonkers busy ram-banging the door. This is your chance. Make that one dead. Let's see. Pump you up. There's no time to look back. Too busy moving on. Yes, you can do anything. The sky's the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end, in flames. It's a wonder some of these up and downs still work. Guess they built machines better in the past. The spent nuclear fuel that Toxanol dumped in the surf had detrimental effects on the marine habitats, while the overflowing landfills contaminated the groundwater. Combined, this sent their world hurtling on an inevitable road to ruin. I need to brush up on my Wando, but I have a feeling he believes it was you that caused the bang at the yard. Oh, and he says he knows you. You used to call him Gizmo. He gave you the oil-greased hands when he taught you how to upcycle. Gizmo remembers you as a nice kidling, and he can still sense the warmth of your good heart. But Gizmo says how you experience a memory can be different. You know the story, but sometimes the truth it brings is personal. It carries so much hate, and its insatiable hunger has only increased over the years since it claimed revenge on your parents. Gizmo says he also has re-memories from the long gone, but unlike you, he doesn't think of the past, for it's gone. He understands history made Loopin a big part of your past, your present, and soon, your future. You still believe there's some good in everyone. You still have hope for tomorrow. He says you should know that what's meant to be will always find a way, but history shouldn't consume you. Gizmo encourages that. You should forgive, but never forget. It'll provide some comfort to your soul and keep the memory of lost loved ones in your heart.
Fan that flame!
Wait, no! Bright light blinds! It's dangerous.
I've got all the cold sick burns you need, Dark.
Oh, do you have to insult me over this?
I don't have to, but I want to.
Would like to know if you ever doubt the choices you made on the path that brought you to this point. Would you have been happier going in a different direction? Supposes that's all any of us can do. Hard to believe the world is actually going to survive. Just seemed impossible till now. Grateful to you for coming back and doing your best to change things. You were the only chance they had. Wonders if you liked working with the Myriad. They always seemed so centered and so seeking. Figures everyone does. They seem unusually dedicated to finding them. But that's not important now. Gizmo says it's taken a long time to bring the past up to the present, and where you go from here is up to you. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the underyard as he has no protection against the vacuum in the dead zone, so you need to salvage scrap to upcycle the Mekton, starting with the old crate outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the Mekton strong enough to fight the Jumbo Puff. There are more crates from before the apocalypse left out in the wild. Easy to find if you keep an eye out. You should be able to gather enough scrap to upgrade the Mekton from them. It's so vibrant out during daylight. There's short of breath and death to this zone. Better take care. He who half breathes. That's the leftover you're looking for. Watch out for drop-offs. They can surprise you down here. Disgusting. Biohazard. Just gross. Thoughts and... Could be danger around any corner down here. Ooh, a biohazard like that can make you real sick. Grab tight. He says that's enough to get the Mekton functional. You'll have an engine, a fuel soaker, a gun and a gathering net, but no armor, nor enough oxygen supply. He made a suction device so the Mekton can use the black tar as an instant refuel. You can also use it to clear oily goo puddles, so you can pass and access hard-to-get-to areas. He's been working on another project for the Mekton, a cannon, but it needs ammunition, and by that he means the scripts. He says if they're trained right, they'll turn into a distraction for the jumbo puff. The best way to find scripts is to go talk to Moog. He knows the ins and outs of every breathing thing left alive after the apocalypse. Unfortunately, this means you'll have to venture farther out into the dead zone than Moog's camp on the steep depot. Once you find Moog, he'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find scripts. It's a little feisty and tough critter, a perfect fit for a live ammunition, if you ask him. Make sure you don't walk off a cliff while you're night blind. The grease monkey's mekton is built sturdy, just like himself. Can you imagine how this place used to look before the dead oil flood? Might want to hold your breath before you head any further. You're about to witness the breathtaking vistas of what's known as the Dead Zone. The thing was already dangerous, but now... That over there is Steepo-Deepo, the cliffside that Moog hangs on. Nothing beats your own 2 feet.
Botsi. Inmo. Tiama. Kuhuwatsu Amanga.
This one's impressed to see you out here. He figured you'd be dead by now. Not many are as tough and clever as you must be. Says he's a monster haunter, the best you'll ever see. Moog says that all your power doesn't do you a bit of good if you're not willing to pull the trigger when the time comes. Choosing what to kill and what to spare are the most important decisions you'll make. You might have a steady aim, but you need to be sure that you pick your targets with care. It's hard to make those life or death decisions for others, but someone's got to do it. Otherwise, they'll do it themselves, and you know they'll miss. When it comes to monsters, he mostly picks who dies. Says it's wild that the world seems to be coming back, but he supposes that means more monsters for him to shoot. Wonders why you work so hard to keep things alive. Bullets help thin the herd instead. Says you should give up on working with the stubborn myriad. He keeps trying to put out their lights and they keep putting up new ones. He's afraid you're just as stubborn as them. But enough of that, right?
faksa u inta bada le chine.
He says the wildlife, nature, has changed and turned against us. Instincts of survival took over when the world changed.
Darin mianda kagunu.
He's not sure about their veggie diet anymore, and if it's changed, who knows what it's done with the chemical composition of their body output.
Kuali. Why ad food le haya?
Right now, though, he feels he's come to a point where he's got a pretty clear idea on the whereabouts of Munster.
Baran udinama. Kuali.
Thinks that it all hangs on the tree of life. When it started to fail, everything changed.
Badayan analove.
Moog says you must learn to walk before you can run. It takes practice before you can call yourself a monster hunter.
Me.
Fortunately for you, he can help. He understands you need to start off with something small before you go big.
Maskinka Michael Taguka. Fiona. Me.
There's no better place to start than a squip cave. Hunting down a couple of these little critters for yourself should keep you on your toes.
Ja.
Says it's not far at all. Fortunately for you, the squips seem to have acclimatized themselves to the otherwise uninhabitable dead zone.
Wow.
Moog says you should go hunt for... Let's see.
Wakshandonane.
Moog says you should go... You might get a killer headache from this. Wait, it's the scrip hole-up. Place is just filled with critters. Flying fists. That's just nasty. Biohazards make you puke. Couldn't just be bolted shut. Once the volatilization from the nuclear waste evaporated, a volatile gas rose through the soil and infested structures, even Toxanol's own buildings. So, in a way, they caused their own death. Oh, idea. Go knock the lid off that sludge truck. It'll fill the place up and you can get up to that entrance there. Looks like the switches need to be turned to match so enough charge can flow through the just a few moves left. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Sure useful. Got it. Good one. Don't flinch away from this. It's your moment. You need to focus. Guess you need a gun to prove your point. A reaper? Heroes make for the best stories. It's up to you if you want to be one. Thank whoever left this climb stringer here. Moog asks if you know the first rule of monster haunting. It's to go where the monsters are. To haunt, you must know the grounds of your prey. Few monsters warrant the fear we have for them, and you don't look like someone that's easily scared. You could help him out. Start with one monster and take it from there. Spot its tracks and Says you're right. You gotta catch 'em all.
Light instantly banishes dark.
How much light do you really need?
All the light, all of it!
I mean, you could leave a little space for the dark.
All the light.
He didn't expect you to be back so soon.
But you're analog.
Says you're well.
This would make anyone woozy. A real treasure. Maybe you'll grow into that. A real power blade. No air left for whining about it. Bang shelters are usually few and far between, but not around here. Here's shelter 7C2, and it's not far from where 7C is. You never know how long anything's been buried underground. Just be glad that beastie let you on. It's another old-world bric-brac. Let's see. The Scanaptrut outpost. The Jagni tribe first nested here long ago. Says they've been waiting for you to help them liberate the outpost. Says scouts spotted a moth nest close to the outpost. If you destroy that, the moths should infest the place, looking for a new home. Fig... Just get to it and destroy it. Hey, nice shot. Put him into it. Shot through. Sharp. Hang. It's a wild sensation to be away from the open air. Well placed. Bullets everywhere. You're not dead yet. Nice work. No more moth's nest. There go the moths toward the outpost. They're good and mad. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. At least someone wears pants. He says you did a great job capturing the rival's second outpost. You've earned the privilege of wearing the tribe's colors. Believes you'll make them all proud, too. Good to be able to get stuff done while the world is awake. Flexity Flex. Check out that shopperia over there. Wonder what they used to sell. Erfidurf outpost. The Jagni tribe claimed this forever. Someone has to end this plague before it's too late. Let's see. There's the tyrant who runs this outpost. He didn't expect his tribe to lose, as they're the ones that are ruthless. But now that you're working with their rival, he can see why. Ruthless, as in they take no prisoners. He wants you to believe him when he says they have no intention to become captives either. It's their last line of defense. Once their guardian falls, they'll surrender. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. Thinks you did a great job capturing the rival's third outpost, and believes the rival is weak enough to engage. They all hope you can lead. Let's see. Where are the control sticks on this thing? Buffer than ever. This is called suburbia, a place to get away from the city stink. Half-life. Maybe it's later than you think. Hard to tell at night. In the old world, roads like this really led somewhere. Now, most of them...
Ja, 14 Jahre. Intabada Voroshudu Tariman Gabiata.
Moog says he's found keys in fluff dung before, and always wondered what they'd unlock. Discover the rest and you'll find more keys. There's plenty of poo to go around.
Garuda, no, Goga.
Moog says you did good on that last monster. He hopes you have time to help him seek out the next one.
Tarimaya,
It's not too far away. It shouldn't take you as long as the previous one.
Tarimaya,
But that's no reason to waste time.
Munte Mastula.
If you keep at the haunt, you'll round them all up in no time.
The light shines on.
Better isn't the word I would use.
Right, not better. Best.
You're the worst.
The worst of being the worst. Which is the best?
Galba,
Moog appreciates your company.
Silogo Bartinea Farish.
Didn't have much else to say, so no problem. Tailed a chugger. Now it's just off track. The day is getting on. He says that's enough scripts to sustain the Mekton's claw crane cannon with infinite ammunition. Well done. It's not his cleanest invention so far, but it gets the job done. Use it to suck up gooey oil puddles in the Mekton's way so you can pass. Gizmo's made vehicles before to confront the Jumbo Puff himself, but failed. But this time, it's different. The Mekton will be strong enough to do the job. It's time to put a stop to the World Eater now. Otherwise, he fears the damage it's caused to the tree already will be too much to handle. He asks you to not even think about taking on the Jumbo Puff on foot. You'll need the Mekton to do the job. Take his word for it. There's time to improve the Mekton before you confront the Puff. There are more wreck boxes out in the dead zone with gear you should be able to equip the Mekton with on your own. He's sure you remember enough of what he taught you about upcycling to fit some skronky gear to the Mekton on your own. Gizmo wants to help if he can. Has plenty to do, so no worries. What a glorious ride. Imagine now. You could just go to a place like this to get a proper meal back in the old world. Misery. The night could be fun. There's a place and time for everything, but for that city scenario, it's already come and gone. Back to your own stompers. Bang Shelter 7B is still there, open and ready to shelter. Head on. Get already. Good thing you love to explore, even underground. Should hold up. Let's see. Brick-bracks like this were symbols for the growth of the old world. Never know what's hiding out in the dark. That's another shop again. They just couldn't get enough of these places back in the days gone. Right between the eyes. Let's get that mount moving while the getting is good. Stay on top and you'll be fine. You've located the village of Hubbledun. Looks like wholesome. A tidy little cave. Makes you look smarter. It's time to create your own path.
அப்பாவே ஆடியோ நான் மியூட்டில் இருந்திருக்கா. இதை எப்போ ஆஃப் பண்ண வந்தேன்? ஸ்ட்ரீம் ஃபுல்லாக பேசலை.
You can smell the must down here.
இந்த ஒரு பாஸ் அவுட் மட்டும் முடிச்சுக்கிட்டு அப்படியே கேம் ஆஃப் பண்ணிக்கலாம். மேலே போயிட்டோமா எங்கே இந்த பாஸு தோருக்கு இந்த பாஸ் விடு விடு. சவுண்டு மட்டும் என்னென்னமோ சவுண்ட்லாம் வருது. இங்கே போயிட்டு
So many creatures doing so many things during the day. Shop. That's one just over there. Go for it. Smell that burning fuel. Got it.
இது பார்த்து கேவலமாக இருக்குது.
That's a jumbo puff with an appetite. Ain't no fuss. Better put an end to it before it ends our world. Jumbo Puff is kicking it up a notch. It's time for an electric performance. Bad feeling about this. It goes all the way down to the stomach. Start like a snack and you'll end up with a ride down the intestinal canal. That's too close to the end state. Look at you, all pooped out. From this point on, there's no way forward but going back in.
கேவலமானடி. சரி,
That's too close to the end station. Better move up and away, or be swept out the bowel way. Wow, what a super-sized wormwing. That must be as big as they come. The torus is pumping at half a beat. You know what to do. You see, it's what's on the inside that counts. That meaty torus is already off beat. End it. Guessed it would go down with a throw-up. Can it really get any better than that?
எடுத்துகிட்டு கொண்டு போய் நம்ம கிப்சம்க்கு கொடுப்போம் நினைக்கிறான்ட்டேன். என்னடா உன்னோட மிஷின் வேஸ்ட் மிஷின். ஓகே பாய்ஸ், இதோட முடிச்சிக்கலாம். அதுக்கெல்லாம் என் ஆடியோ ஆனில் இருக்குன்னு நினச்சி நான் அப்படியே பாட்டு பேசிக்கினே இருந்தேன். எனக்கு கவனிக்கவே இல்லை. இப்போ தான் பார்க்குறேன் ஆடியோ ஆனில் அவ்வளோ ஃபஸ்ட்டு